Miley had to be gay, comedy going away, and things you should never say. Coming up today on The Point.
Qu'est-ce que tu vas me faire? Tu me fais pas peur. Plus de souper avec tes parents.
Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today?
Wonderful.
Yeah, happy to be here.
How are you doing, Tito? Are you? You're not hungover or anything. Okay, good.
3-week hangover, eh? Fuck.
3 weeks.
Talking point number one, killing comedy. Okay, so Todd Phillips, who is the director of the movie Joker.
I need to see that movie.
Oh, so good.
I don't think it's very good.
Oh, God.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think
let's not dive into that one. I don't want to argue about it.
He gave an interview where he said that queer progress has ruined comedy.
Queer progress.
Yes, notably because the interview was with Vanity Fair. Phillips lashed out at woke culture, citing it as the reason he has transitioned from directing comedies to drama.
My go-to was saying something was gay. Now I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, like actually.
Quote, go try to be funny nowadays with this woke culture. There were articles written about why comedies don't work anymore. I'll tell you why, because of all the fucking funny guys are like, fuck this shit, because I don't want to offend you.
Like, what are you talking
That's
about?
a bit of a rough road to follow, but
I mean,
It sounds like an uncreative comedian who can't evolve. Is what it
that's
sounds
the
like.
thing. Like, there's so many things to be funny about.
Like-
but at the same token, everybody is offended about everything. But I mean, if you're going as far as to like discriminate against people, then that's wrong. Obviously,
he just can't do his frat boy stuff that
Yeah.
he did in old school, which I thought was hilarious at the time, for sure. Like, I enjoyed it, but I mean, you know, if you're only one note and you can't go and do something else and evolve your capabilities, then yeah, move on. Do something else.
Yep.
Do Joker. Like, fair enough.
Yeah.
But there are comedians, I mean, Bill Maher, Jerry Seinfeld, who say that they don't perform, say, on college campuses anymore because the backlash is immediate against something that 5 years ago wasn't a problem. Well, and maybe it really isn't a problem, but in university settings, it's seen as problematic.
Well, the university scene is different than the real world.
Yes.
Because when you go to perform at a university, you're funded by the university and the students' dollars, like all of the students' dollars.
Yeah.
So they have a bigger say. But if you're playing a club, you're really only fueled by your audience, the people who paid to come see you. And if they don't like you, it's because you suck. It's not because you're offensive.
Yeah.
It's they know who you are already.
Yeah.
They
That's
just
so true.
Right? That's the thing. Like, you know, Louis C.K. was in Toronto not too long ago and played Yuck Yucks for like a week and was packed the whole, like every single night and got standing ovations every single night. Right? Because the thing is, he's
His
still
comedy
good.
is
And-
still comedy.
Yeah.
Like, he is still a very talented comedian.
And
Just
people knew about it, and he addressed it like that was one of his first jokes, or not even a joke, but I think he addressed everything that happened. But the thing is, he's still funny. People went there knowing, you know, who they were going to see,
yeah.
and what, like, you know, that happened. So either you were okay with it, or you were going there to write about it. Well, those are the only two people, or the two types of people that really went, and majority of the people loved it.
Yeah.
And I think
Right?
there is something to the conversation of clamping down on free speech and the exchange of different and polarizing ideas on university campuses, but that doesn't necessarily just apply to comedy. That applies to that whole concept. And, you know, maybe a university campus isn't the place to go for jokes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Maybe it's shifted so much.
Just so you know, he continued in this interview, it's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter. You just can't do it. So you just go, I'm out. I'm out. You know what? With all my comedies, I think that what comedies in general all have in common is they're irreverent. So I go, how do I do something irreverent, but fuck comedy?
Basically, he's just saying he doesn't want to work on his craft.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get better at comedy. It's
He's
like
lazy.
just as Doug said before, he had the one note and it worked, and he's just like, I can't do that one note anymore. That's shit. But you adjust.
Who's the comedian that's like really dark? Is a guy, I think his name is like Jeselnik.
Anthony Jeselnik.
Okay, so if he can fucking do it, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's
he's
all, I mean,
dark.
a big part of it
AF.
is about what your brand in general is, and it's a little different as a director, I think, because when you're doing like comedies, like big mainstream media or mainstream movies, it's a bit of a different story because it's nobody's like, oh, this is the director. Like if you go to see Anthony Jeselnik, this is one comedian who's it's his brand, it's what he does. Also, he doesn't. I actually don't know too much of his, but I think it's a little bit of like, you know, that it's not his personal beliefs. Like he doesn't actually think
But
you should
yes.
set fire
Right,
to
but
babies in a
Todd Phillips-
hospital.
Yeah.
Todd
So
Phillips
there's
is-
something about that juxtaposition.
Yeah,
Todd
for
Phillips
sure.
also is not talking about stand-up comedy, he's talking about movies.
Yep.
And I think we can all point to movies from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, where something might be problematic today, but it wasn't
Yeah.
Couldn't
problematic
make
Most-
back in the
most
day.
Mel Brooks movies.
I know,
in this day and age.
and that would make me sad.
But it's important that he made them at that time,
Yes.
and it got us to where we are now. Like it's all progress, it's all evolving.
Right.
And I think it's ultimately a good thing. It's just going to be hard for some people, and
Yeah.
Well, speaking of criticisms, the latest person to be criticized is Miley Cyrus. And this is
That's a hot fucking picture.
this is a photo of her and her boyfriend,
Cody's so ugly.
Cody Simpson.
God.
His
Simpson.
face, Simpson, yeah.
it's like Bizarro World Jake Busey.
He's so hot.
I agree with you on that
Yeah,
one.
he's gorgeous.
But she was criticized because she said she made comments on Instagram Live
yes.
saying, "I always thought I had to be gay because I just thought like all guys were evil, but it's not true." And it's not true because she's now dating Cody Simpson, and
She happy.
she's happy.
Shortly after ditching Caitlyn.
There are good people out there. She said there are good people out there that just happen to have dicks. I only ever met one, and he's on this Instagram Live, and then he came out, and there you go.
That showed his dick.
I wish.
But she got in trouble because some people were saying that her equating her having to be gay with hate. She was making the connection that you're gay if you hate men, like if you're a gay woman if you hate men.
Yes.
And then people went after her.
Like you have to hate men to be a gay woman.
to be a big gay woman.
It's a bad joke. Done.
No, it's just a misinterpretation, and this whole thing is stupid. Like it's,
Agreed.
I don't know. It's
Cheers to
it's
that.
not what she
y'all.
meant.
Cheers to y'all. Who's what is Christina? What did you say?
Yeah, who's Caitlyn?
Caitlyn, thank you.
Who's
Didn't we
Caitlyn?
talk about this? So Brody Jenner's ex-wife, Caitlyn, they broke up, and then Caitlyn started dating Miley Cyrus. So they were together for a couple months.
Well, she's pansexual,
It's funny that
right? Yeah.
It's funny that. No, never mind.
Which is great. Like,
Brody
But
can
do
just
you find
dance
okay?
and-
So this
Basically, to me, it almost sounds like Miley Cyrus now knows she can't cash in on like the gay audience, because I think when she came out as gay, I think a whole lot of gay people were like, "All right, we love Miley Cyrus now," and now she's just like,
She came
"I'm
out-
fucking a guy now," and it's just like, "All right, well, I don't know
Did
if I
she
have
come
those
out as
people."
bi?
as pansexual.
She's anything. She goes for anything.
This was one of the criticisms on Twitter from Rosie Percy, although I don't know who that is. Women don't have to be gay because they can't find a good person with a dick. Don't use the queer community as a stopgap because you couldn't find a boyfriend.
it's not what she meant.
People aren't queer because they gave up on men. This is so insulting.
No, it's not.
I am happy that she's calling it the queer community, though. That makes me happy. I'm so sick of this fucking LGBTQIA blah blah blah. So yes, queer community. I like that.
Adam's personal mission.
Gonna pull out something happy out of that.
But this is somebody trying to manufacture something that wasn't anything.
That wasn't
like
thing,
this
yeah.
is just a waste of everybody's time.
True dat.
Well, thank you for that. Sorry, now it's time for today's midpoint.
Way to waste our time.
Sorry, Fred. I meant society's time, not.
Squished.
Thanks for
Yes,
watching.
I know,
everyone.
but it's time for today's midpoint.
No mercy, baby.
it's time
What?
for headline hot
I'm gonna win this time.
takes. Big money, no whammies.
Big money, big money.
Air Canada has dropped ladies and gentlemen from their greeting on their planes for a gender-neutral welcome.
Hello.
So instead of saying ladies and gentlemen,
Say hello, everyone.
that they just say hello everyone now.
Oh, that's great.
Sweet.
Everybody. Or tout le monde en français.
I hate that has to be like a news story. Just do it.
And
Like
they
I
do.
hate that it has to be,
Hey,
but like,
y'all.
I get it. But like I hate that it has to be.
Great.
Well, they have to show that they're progressive in that.
Right.
sense,
And I'm
yes.
sure Jordan Peterson is very angry about this and is filing a lawsuit as we speak.
Oh, Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
I go back and
I like
forth
that
on
that's
it.
what people are complaining about, and not the fact that Air Canada charges you like $100 to check a bag.
Well, all airlines do that now.
But like, let's bitch about that, not this.
Okay, well, bitch about it.
All right, I'm sick of paying so much fucking money. Also, why is it costing me $700 to fly to Newfoundland in my own country? Like, why is it costing so
Yeah,
much?
and it costs $300 to fly to like Amsterdam.
Yes, thank you. Like, what the fuck?
Go over your actual like this. Cost you less money.
Well,
Cost you less.
while we are on the airplane tip,
Yes.
Ah,
Just
boom,
the
boom, boom.
tip.
this went viral. This was a flight from London to LA.
What? London to LA?
Yes.
It's a long ass flight.
So this passenger took a photo and tweeted it of this, quote, disgusting pig
Oh.
drying his socks by hanging them from the window on the plane.
See, I thought that was like legs hanging outside.
That's what I thought too.
No.
Like, what
Look
is
like
this?
they're outside.
I'd get a little scared.
Yeah, no, that's disgusting. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
it's gross.
You have every right to be publicly shamed if you
Yeah,
do that.
absolutely. That's disgusting.
Especially because his face isn't in it, so it's fair game.
Just take off your shoes. That's it.
Yep.
Air out
Go to
your
the
feet.
bathroom, change your socks,
Yeah.
put the other ones in your bag.
Yeah.
Wrap them up if you
Yeah.
have to. They probably smell really bad.
Yeah.
So we're pro public shaming on this.
Figure it out, bud.
Okay. Well, hopefully none of these flights ran into this. So this was subtropical storm Melissa. And when radar photos of subtropical storm Melissa showed up on TV and in social media, people kind of had a field day.
That's funny. It's like the opposite of like the.
Or it's like a
The emoji.
pipe.
It's like a really weird shaped avocado.
It's like a dick-shaped avocado.
That's pretty great.
So people ran with it. People on Twitter, Melissa looks a bit excited. Somebody else, I think Tropical Storm Melissa is celebrating National Coming Out Day. Here's hoping that Melissa comes in hard and fast, but then pulls out before any damage is done. Okay, now we're going.
That's so good.
Now we're gonna play Guess the State.
Florida.
Florida.
Alabama.
Florida.
A man was arrested for trying to get an alligator drunk.
Florida.
Florida. I'm saying
It's Florida.
Of course it
It's
is.
always Florida.
Timothy Kepke of Hobie Sound allegedly fed some beer to an alligator, which then bit him.
It's domestic.
Yeah, don't feed Coors Light to that.
How do you feed a beer to an alligator?
Just pour it in its own
Very
mouth.
carefully.
Yeah, you just pour it in its mouth.
Throw the
After
can
the
at
beer
it?
feeding,
No, you get close.
Kepke told authorities he had consumed a few beers that day.
Obvious.
No. Not gonna lie, I had a couple drinks.
I had a couple of drinks beforehand.
But claimed he wasn't intoxicated during the incident.
Sure.
After the beer feeding, which was recorded, why do people record themselves doing?
Gotta get viral.
If you need
Gotta
to
go
record it,
viral.
you know it's gonna go badly.
Yeah.
Released the animal. Authorities obtained the video, though it's unclear how, and then confronted Kepke at his home, where he copped to the crime.
They just looked on Instagram.
So it's illegal to feed beer to alligators?
I guess so.
In Florida it is, because it's a
Florida.
common occurrence.
Fair enough.
True.
Ding.
Okay,
It's like those
so
assholes who feed beer to the piggies in the Bahamas, and it's so sad.
Is it? I want to see that video.
Jesus.
You know when you go swimming with the pigs? Tourists give them beer and they get them drunk and they can die.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
I didn't know that.
It's
people
really
said
really
sad.
sad.
All right, Fred, cheer us up with another story. Come
Okay, well here we're gonna finish it up. We're also gonna play Guess the State.
Florida.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Florida.
A man got in trouble because he kept calling 911 about his stolen weed.
Colorado.
Oh my god. Where is it illegal? Everywhere?
I would say it's still Florida.
Yeah. It's
Colorado, I don't think it would be a news story because that would be legit.
That'd be a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Florida. Pasco County. The sheriff's office tried to turn the man's error into a teachable moment on Twitter, however. This is, what's his name? Pasco County Sheriff, who went on Twitter then, because they have this thing where you ride along and you can follow their police officers on Twitter on, it's like Bad Boys.
Bad boy.
Bad boys. Authorities say a Florida man repeatedly called 911 to report that his roommate had stolen his marijuana. A deputy for the Pasco County Sheriff's Office then posted a Twitter response to the man call Saturday night. Simply, stop calling.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's as good as you can get off with in that scenario.
Yeah.
Because weed's illegal, and then, like, you're admitting to having it, and
Someone stole
I guess
something
also to
illegal.
being a narc. Like,
Yeah.
And calling 911 unnecessarily.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. So,
Hot takes,
hot
guys.
take. Word
Hot
to the
take.
wise. Don't call 911 if your roommate steals your weed.
In
Although,
Florida.
yeah, in
In
Florida.
Florida.
You probably
Yeah.
could here because that is a crime and it
Florida.
is legal.
Yeah.
Yes.
You learn so much on this show.
So much.
And there you go. Today's midpoint.
I keep kicking you under the table.
See you next Tuesday.
And now it's time for talking point number 2, first impressions. Okay, so the website Ask Men,
Oh god.
Your favorite website.
they put together a list of things you should never say while on a first date.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Okay,
I
so
didn't see that. I'm
I
excited
want
to
to
hear
know.
these.
I want to know your thoughts on this. Number 1, I've never felt super compelled to travel far outside my hometown.
Things you should never say.
They're
Wow.
right. Don't say that.
You should never say that ever.
Don't say
Not
it.
even on a first date.
Comfortable just staying in my mom's basement.
There are. I'm actually.
Why do I feel like this person that said that has like a wizard outfit on or something?
Oh,
I just have this.
But I'm surprised at how many. We're in Toronto. I'm surprised how many people in Toronto, for example, have never been to Montreal. I
only
find
been there once.
I've only gone
see,
once.
and I find that surprising
Why?
because it's a 5.5-hour drive, and it's such a
beautiful.
a global destination.
Probably because it takes 2 hours to get out of the city in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, but then you never go anywhere. I mean, no, you could fly.
You could fly.
But it cost you $700.
No, not to Montreal.
True.
Or New York. Or New York.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how many people. Actually, when I lived in
That
Rhode
doesn't
Island.
matter. I lived in Portugal, and it's the tiniest little country, and I didn't see any of it.
I think
care
just
enough.
people getting out of their hometowns at all is more the thing, because almost you could make the argument like, well, Toronto's so goddamn expensive that I can see not ever being able to get away because you can't afford it. But yeah, moving on.
Number 2, I didn't know anybody said this, but I review a lot of sex toys.
Oh.
Like, who says that on a date?
A sex toy
People who are
tester.
nervous and there's like that
that's
that
their
like brief
job.
moment of just awkward silence and then they're just like I got
I
to
mean,
Seems so specific though. Like to like.
Is there like a sex toy section on Yelp?
maybe
where,
somebody
like,
asks
you're-
maybe that's the person's job. That's what they do. So
Did this
somebody's like,
sex
so
toy
what do you
make
do
you
for a
nervous?
living? And then they say, well,
I also
You
think
said
that
so.
is
God bless
something
you. That's a happy
that is
job.
different coming
You're gonna
from
find out one
a
day.
woman than a man. Because I think if a man says that on a date, then you're like, what? How many different toys are there that you're testing? Whereas with the woman, their section is huge, right?
Oh,
or
honey,
sorry,
honey.
straight man. I'll say straight
Okay,
man.
I was gonna
I'll say straight man.
Yeah.
Sorry, straight man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This list
There's
is-
a lot of toys.
Those are very specific.
Number 3, I have to get home soon. My kids are waiting for me. I think that's weird.
I get the idea of like figure out if you've got a connection before you let them know that you have kids, but then there's also that same thing of like be upfront and let them know that you have kids.
Why
Like, I don't
would
know.
you like
anybody that I've ever dated that has had has had children before, I've known before I took them out on an actual
Yeah,
first date.
I want to know
like,
before I go on
Why
a
would-
date with you.
unless you actually want to say it. Oh, gee, I gotta get home.
I gotta go. Yeah, it's a shitty first date.
Because you want to get out of the date.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's
the
happened
fake
to me
phone
too, where
call?
somebody's lied about having kids so that they
Yeah.
can get out of a date with me.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Jen.
cool with that.
All
It's
right,
happening.
you're married now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you have to go because you
I have
have a
to
kid. Yeah. Number 4. This I completely get why this is creepy. Your eyes are beautiful, just like my mother's.
Ew.
Oh no, honey.
You
Something
want to
like,
see them? I have them in a jar.
ew, that's something like Mike Pence
That's
would say.
fucking weird.
Yeah, don't compare somebody that you want to fuck to somebody in your family.
No.
No,
Not
feel
like
like
no
I've done
part
that.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is true though that a lot of I do know a lot of people who date people who
Look like their dads.
Yeah.
that look like their dad?
Yeah, there's like
Quite
a
often.
daddy issue or a mommy issue there.
Well, I know a lot of people who like date
Isn't-
like more of like similar like personalities
Yeah.
to their parents.
Isn't David Beckham and Victoria Beckham's son dating
A Victoria Beckham look-alike.
look-alike?
Really?
Yeah, I heard that on the radio this past week.
Yeah,
She-
but
she
Victoria
played-
Beckham's
She used to,
fine.
yeah, she used to be an
Like
actual
Spice
look-alike for
Girls.
Victoria Beckham.
That's so funny.
Brooklyn.
The dude? I don't know who the guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
anything about
Brooklyn.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I need to look that up.
Weird, yeah.
What? I need to look this up.
I need to look this up.
You
Number
didn't
5.
sound like it.
I'm down
Oh,
for that. I like
this,
that.
I mean, this is weird phrasing, but I get how this is an issue, and I want to know how different people. Oh, we're not splitting it. I figured you'd be paying for yourself. I mean, that's a weird statement, but
Yeah.
how do you navigate on a first date who pays?
I pay.
Who asks?
Whoever asks. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Never asked?
obviously, we've talked in
Also,
the
and if it
different
wasn't-
viewpoints that we've had at that time.
Yeah, it's
So,
like
yes.
my older roommate and I used to talk about this all the time, but like he was always a big advocate on even if they like reach for the bill or something like that, if it wasn't discussed, he like appreciates that, but he'll obviously take the bill if he asks them out on the date. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because that's just
Yeah,
proper
I
protocol,
like
right?
the reach. The
Yeah,
reach is
yeah.
great.
Always.
But yeah.
Like unless
Yeah.
it's a really bad date, and then you're just like, well, let's just split it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that
in that
was-
case,
at
you're
that
trying
point,
to
I
you're
gotta
trying
go
to
with
salvage
that.
what you can.
I would think. I mean, I haven't gone on a first date in a long time, but I would think on a
It'll
first.
happen. It's okay.
I would think that you assume you're paying. Like, so both of you assume that
okay.
you're the one paying. And then, so even if it becomes like, I'll get it, no, I'll get it, oh, okay, you get it, now I'll get it next time, whatever. You know, I mean, if it's a bad date, then maybe just,
I mean, I know that it is an old school and not applicable in 2019 mentality. Like, I'm fully aware of that. But in my head, I still have this idea that I'm the guy, so I need to be the one paying. And often I'm the one that would, like, have invited anyway, so it ticks that box. And assuming it goes well, so I'm not trying to salvage whatever I can by getting them to pay their share. Like I know it's an old school thing that isn't necessarily valid at all in 2019, but it's just still the way my brain works and why
I don't know. Just pay for your own shit, and I'll pay for my shit. I don't care.
Yeah, but how successful?
no,
It's not successful. It's not.
I've had it where like you go to multiple places, so you'll pay one spot and then they'll pay
oh
next
yeah,
spot.
if it's a multi-date.
Yeah.
I think I've only paid like twice on dates, but like those were.
Well,
like,
you've only gone on 2 dates.
Yeah. Those dates were like 6 years ago, so like,
Okay, this one is also weird. Yeah, I have a sibling, but they're disabled, so I don't really bring them up.
these things are so
What?
weird.
Like that's so specific.
Yeah.
But discussing how many siblings you have and what
Why
they're like
wouldn't you?
is a time-honored first date conversation. But in this example, do they literally view a close member of the family as lesser simply because of something that's out of their control? Saying something that would you bring that even up? Like, why would you?
If
bring
you're
that up?
talking about them,
Just never say that.
yeah,
family.
I wouldn't hide them.
Yeah, no,
Say,
I
have
wouldn't hide them.
disability.
yeah.
But I mean,
That's
I think
rude.
that's weird. It's rude,
Yeah.
right? The last one, but again, the phrasing is weird, but it does bring up an interesting thing. You must eat a lot of soy sauce, right?
What?
Is this something
hold
that,
on.
No.
that this writer has been told?
I need
And is
to.
it-
I want to interview this writer and be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Girl, what's
No.
happening on your dates?"
Because
No.
I have a feeling this writer is just like some
No.
Asian dude, and These are the questions. These are the things that people have asked him or said to him.
Well, you think
because these are very specific.
You think just because it's soy sauce that it's Asian?
Yeah.
That's racist.
Yeah, it is. Either that or you can smell like soy sauce.
No, but I think,
In which case, it's a valid question.
Yeah.
But this brings up an interesting thing. Like if somebody said to me, "Oh, you must eat a lot of, you know."
Dick.
I was gonna say corned beef, but that's not far. That's not far.
Not far at all.
Not far at all. You must eat a lot of corned beef. You know, just 'cause
Oh, because you're Jewish.
Jewish.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, and I've had a long time ago, but I had been on dates where people would say they like the fact that I'm Jewish and then say something anti-Semitic, and it's like, what?
That weird, like, backhanded
Yeah,
thing.
it's like you know, some comment about my nose or something, and it's like that's weird.
That's weird.
That's
That is,
weird.
yeah.
It's very strange.
You know, but if you're a racist, you may end up saying those things, and
Probably
you know
are.
what? If you're on a date with somebody who says something like that, let them say it so that you
100%.
know what you're dealing with.
This is why you date.
And you know what we're dealing with right now? What is Bop of the Week?
Bob of the Week is Tinashe, featuring Miss Banks, and it's called Die a Little Bit.
Now, Ms. Banks, is Ms.
Nope.
Banks related to Azalea
Nope.
Bank? No?
No.
It's a different bank altogether?
No, yes.
Okay, good. Good to know. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/thepointguys. Of course, don't just press the red button. Also, press the bell to make sure you're notified every time a new episode is available. Also, we're available on the streaming service.
Sorry.
Fearless. So download the Fearless app for all their great content. The audio podcast is available on iTunes. Of course, if you really want to help us out, go to our crowdfunding site. That's at Patreon. Patreon.com/thepointguys. And let us know what you think about anything we talked about today, including things that you have said on first dates.
Or heard.
Or heard on first dates. Or heard about soy sauce. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Point Guys. Thank you all.
Thanks,
Thank
Brad.
you. We have a new show every Tuesday. So we will
See you next Tuesday.
on The Point.
I will have a